Hey everyone, welcome back to Fanboy TV South by Southwest Live. We are rocking it out today. I'm here with Courtney and we've got this amazing director with us. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, my name is Nanfu Wang and my movie is called I Am Another You. It's in the documentary feature competition and the premiere is tomorrow.
So in a nutshell, tell everyone what this film is about because it's unbelievable.
Well, the film is about this young guy who was born and raised in Utah as a Mormon. And then when he was a teenager, he didn't believe in Mormonism anymore. So he became rebellious and did lots of things which inspired me to make a movie and to live on the streets with him. And that would be the journey of the film.
Did you find it hard to approach making a film that's not really Mormon? Because I've watched a bunch of these documentaries and they don't like to be seen in a negative light. Did anyone come up to you and be like, oh, like the Mormon hit squad? They're like, what you doing on the streets with this guy? He's a has-been.
Well, I wouldn't say that the film is negative about the religion because if you see it, it's more about me following him and his journey to try to understand what does freedom mean, because I am from China and when I met him it was the second year I arrived in the US and I was still new, and every year since I was 20 I had a tradition giving myself a birthday gift by going to an unknown place. So that year I was living in New York and I bought a one-way ticket the night before my birthday, went to Florida, and I was traveling on the road meeting a lot of people. And when I met him, his story fascinated me, so I decided to, just follow his lifestyle and film everything. And it's through that journey and our encounters with people from all walks of life to understand the society from my perspective.
I love that point of view because this is a very intimate film. Like it's almost as if you were living there with them and experiencing these emotions, and it's an emotional roller coaster. It is. Was it hard for you to really invest that much and like be on the streets and really just be down there and not be worried for your safety or any of that stuff?
No, it's not that hard at all. I think that's one of my favorite parts of being documentary filmmakers, which is you can experience lives that are different from yours. And in this case, I've never, really understood about homeless lives. And we all think we know about them because we see them around the corner every day, but they have so many kinds of experiences and different backgrounds and different experiences. And when I was living that lifestyle, I felt like I understood them more. And that's what I appreciated of being a documentary filmmaker, because by having that life experience, I somehow expanded my own life experience as well.
Now, going back to a point, you were from China. What area of China are you from?
It's Mid-Eastern. Actually, I was born and raised in a small village that was really remote. And in my village, my family didn't have TV until I was a teenager. So it was really, when I came to the US and watched the first documentary in my life, I was so mind blown.
What was that first documentary?
I can't remember the exact first one because I took an American documentary class, and in that class we watched so many and different style, different generations of documentary, and I couldn't remember which one was the first.
But it's great that it inspired you to go out and do this amazing thing.
Yeah, because before, when I was in China, people talk about documentaries, the kinds that was shown on TV, and usually about food, landscape, history, and nothing is about current affairs or, people's real life.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So when I saw some of the films when I was here, I was like, wow, I didn't know documentaries could be so compelling. Even sometimes it's compelling or more compelling than narrative films. Yeah, so that's
because it's reality TV, but it's
right.
real.
Well, there's a huge difference between documentary and reality TV, but we won't get in there.
So we're going to see Big Brother, the documentary, coming up.
That would be weird. So I know there was a bit of culture shock probably coming from China to the United States to begin with. Was it another round of culture shock going from New York to following this guy around the film?
Not really a culture shock, but there were many things that surprised me, and I would say they are pleasant surprises. Because when I lived on the streets, I encountered people and their generosity in a way that I would have never encountered if I would not live in that lifestyle. There was one moment, I believe it was one of the first few days I was living on the streets, and one morning I didn't have, I didn't eat for several meals. And that morning we were walking along the trash cans, and he was digging through it. And it was 6 o'clock in the morning, very early, and a car passed by. And a few minutes later, that same car drove back and lowered the window and said, "Here's $20, go get yourself some breakfast." And I immediately just cried, because I imagined that person went through that process of thinking, should I give them money or should I not? And then the process actually took him back to drive several blocks and come back to give the money. So I really felt that I understand human beings more and their debates, and then eventually the humanity.
So, living in this life, what is the biggest myth you could dispel from what normal people think? Because we think they stand on street corners, they go to their houses, they all have signs. What was the biggest myth you dispelled with this film?
I think it's the stereotype. A lot of people, when you talk about homeless people, they think they must be drug addicts, they must be alcoholic, they must come from horrible, broken families. And the myth is, actually, the fact is some of them come from really loving family, and could be middle class family, and still have the support from their family, and not every one of them is drug addicts or alcoholic, and they all have different paths, and we all needed to look at them as individuals, as like us, and not just labeling them with those names.
Yeah, I know how hard that can be, because we live in a city where there are someone homeless in every corner asking for money. You just see some people give it to them, and then I always wonder, are they for real or are they for not real? Because I know there's a whole bunch of them who aren't real. I've watched them get into a car and drive away. We call it shift change, and it's just amazing. So I think if you're going to be living in that and you see it, why did he choose to be? I mean, I don't know if it was his choice, but why didn't he go to shelters or find some way to better his life?
Well, not everyone that at least I knew, wanted to go to the shelter. And for example, the person that I filmed, the biggest reason that he loved the lifestyle is the opportunity of meeting people and the unpredictability of life itself. That you are open to any possibility, that anything could happen if you just be at one place or travel from one to another.
So you're just having life experiences.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. All right, so where can people find out more about this this film online?
On our website, IamAnotherYouFilm.com, and then also South by Southwest website.
Has it streamed here yet? Has anyone watched it?
It's tomorrow 1:45
Are you
p.m.
excited?
Yeah.
To see how many people are going to be up in there and be like, yes, and just connect with this movie. Amazing time. Amazing movie. Any last minute thoughts, Courtney?
Well, I think we covered everything that
I mean, just
it's
very. That's one of the reasons why we like film fests like this, is because we will go and see the things we don't normally see. I like explosions and car chases and people jump buildings. Courtney doesn't like horror, but she does like.
I don't like horror either.
I like action, and I like stuff like Twister. Not a whole lot of brain power behind that, but hey.
And so then I like watching films I wouldn't normally watch, and so this is documentaries. We have a bunch of them this year at the show, and I love it because I never know what to expect, and so this one was like, wow, this is eye-opening, especially in a town like us that's full of homeless people, that you start to think twice. So thank you for being on the show. I hope you have an amazing South by Southwest experience.
Thank you. It was nice
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after this with more South by Southwest Fanboy TV Live.